All right, guys, welcome to Dick Howser Stadium. We are here with WarChant.com for a little baseball special for WarChant TV. The regionals were announced today, and we are here to talk a little bit of baseball. I am Powell Latimer. Alongside me is Ben Jones. We are the beat writers for WarChant.com. And so, Ben, the regionals were announced today. Florida State has the number 5 national seed and is in a regional with Georgia Southern, Kennesaw State, and Alabama. They'll be playing Georgia Southern in that first game. What kind of are the questions that Florida State should look for, or things that people should be keeping an eye on here as this regional goes forward?
I think the most obvious thing that you're going to ask about this regional is going to be Florida State's pitching. We still don't know who the starter is going to be on Friday night. It sounds like it'll probably be either Billy Strode, who's kind of moved into the starting role this year from the bullpen because of some of the injuries, or Mike Compton, who started the year as the number 3 guy and has since had to kind of move up and become the number 2 guy in the rotation. Beyond that, they're going to see if Brandon Liebrandt can come back this week and give them anything. He was able to throw off the mound last weekend in Greensboro at the ACC tournament, and just in a couple hours here right behind us, he's going to hopefully throw a 3-inning simulated game. They should know a little bit more about his status soon.
Gotcha. And obviously that would be a huge lift for them. He's a guy that's thrown some really big innings for them even this year through the opening day, and has been a really good pitcher in the past for them. Getting him back would be an enormous boost to a bullpen that's really been kind of decimated by injuries over the course of the season, correct?
Yeah, he would really change the entire outlook of the pitching staff. I think that when he went down with his injury a couple of months ago, he was actually leading the ACC in ERA among starting pitchers. So if you're able to bring him back, even if you're just able to get 2 or 3 innings out of him in a game out of the bullpen, and that helps guys like Billy Strode who can only go 5 innings and they don't have to go 7 innings. It really would kind of change the complexion of the whole team when you have another arm like that back in the rotation.
Gotcha. One of the things that you are going to take a risk with if you're going to go with Compton or Billy Strode in that first game is you're going to risk running up against a maybe team that's not on the same level as Florida State, but has a really good Friday or first day starter, which guess what? Georgia Southern has Josh Weirsu, starting pitcher. It's 9-3 on the season and a 2.33 ERA on the year. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. So that's obviously going to be an interesting battle that first day, since Florida State's going to try to save Ace Luke Weaver. After some good showings in the ACC tournament, do the Seminoles have enough bats to kind of work through that, do you think?
Yeah, I think they do. There were a lot of questions about the lineup going into the year, but I think Florida State's offense has shown this year to be better than just good enough. This is a team that isn't necessarily going to win 12-10 games, but it's also not a pitching team that's going to give up 10 runs a lot of times. A bad pitching game for this team would be giving up 6 or 7 runs, and in that case, I think there's more than enough offense to come up against Georgia Southern.
Got you. Last thing before we let you go, how much does, Florida State's a team that has struggled in the past in the ACC tournament at times. They did a really strong this past few weeks ago in Greensboro, and beat Virginia, which is a huge momentum win if nothing else. How much can that momentum help them carry forward into the postseason?
I think it's big. I don't think that this is a team that's necessarily peaking right now, but they're probably trending in that direction to where they could be peaking in the next week or so, and that's really where you want to be going into the postseason. You don't want to have your best baseball behind you at this point. You still want to have it in front of you, and with guys like Brandon Liebrandt possibly coming back, Brian Holtman could still make a return at some point. I think there's a potential for this team to still be playing better going forward than they played in the last couple of weeks.
All right, well, you heard it here on WarChant.com. You can see our stuff on the website there. Thank you for watching, and come out here to Dick Howser. Florida State will be playing Georgia Southern at 6 p.m. on ESPN3.